What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Justinspiretv. Today we are here at Los Primos Fajita Hot Dogs food truck with Marco Ramirez. Now, y'all heard me talk a lot about, my thing coming up, my food truck coming up, but man, I really look up to this guy, and seeing everything he's done, it really inspired me, and he's one of the first people I reached out to. What's up, man?
What's up, y'all? We're doing this off the fly. How y'all doing?
That's it, man.
Man, I'm excited to finally sit down and talk to you.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, we've had lots of conversations before. This is just going to be the first one that's recorded, so.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. It's exciting to not only be on here, but to see you do your thing, and, just talking to you off air. It's like the real deal, and getting to see you put it on camera. It's like, him off air is the same thing you see on air. He's a great guy, and man, it's awesome. It's awesome to see it and be part of it.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so, and you know what? Another thing, I think this is going to be really important for other people to see. I'm sure and just being one of them, somebody seeing you and the success you've had so far, other people might be thinking the same thing is, man, I would love to start something like that, or a project. This is, to me, this industry is, you're a pioneer jumping into it. It's still a really new industry. There's not a plan for this. You can't go, I'm sure there's some franchises, but you go to McDonald's, like, all right, here's the plan.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
give me $250,000. We're going to set you up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? This is totally different.
To, like, if I go to somebody and be like, hey, does anybody know how to set up a hot air balloon?
Yeah.
What,
Yeah. It's just kind of, it's a little bit out there, man.
Yeah.
And you have to, you got to really have some guts, I think, and, kind of gusto for life to, man, let me just kind of jump into it, Yeah. So the first thing I wanted to ask is the fajita hot dogs. How did that come about? How did these two things kind of come together and become the food truck it is now?
So the original story, it's not a happy one. It's unfortunately one of, like, coming from, like, not suffering from it, but battling with depression. And it went from having to, like, drinking alcohol every day, trying to find a high with that, and then just eating a bunch of junk food. Time passed, and I overcame it, but along that small journey, because everything's a journey, even the bad ones, you still learn something from it.
Agreed.
I put together certain foods, like I was eating so bad, and I just put certain foods together, and they just had good taste. And I always liked putting my in the Tex-Mex game, my tacos, I'd get the flour tortilla, I'd do a refried bean spread, the fajita on top, sour cream, chile con queso, lime, grilled onion, the works, and that's how I liked it, and it's healthy for the mind and the soul,
Yeah. No, I get it.
And then one day, it was late 2012, or it might be early 2013. We were walking through Walmart, and I seen that King's Hawaiian that came out with a hot dog bun, and I was like, the bread alone during Thanksgiving is so good.
Yeah, it's really good. Even before you started using it, I was like, man, I really like it. And then I saw that, and it kind of hit home for me too,
sure. And I'm like, I saw this bread is too good for sausage. Sausage is so cheap. I love a good sausage. Don't get me wrong. But for, like, a little weenie, that bread's too good. So it just clicked, and I said, I'm gonna put what I put on my taco in this bread. It needs to happen.
Yeah.
So I ran across, picked up all the stuff from, like, different restaurants, cheese, meat from here, grilled onions from here. Got home, toasted the bun, put it all in one, and it was so good. So I made this in, like, late 2012.
Yeah.
It wasn't until 2017 where I decided to get into the food truck game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it originated from, like, dabbling with multiple foods, trying to find comfort during my times of, like, battling with depression.
During a rough time.
Yeah.
And I think, man, there's so much just even in that, just, the things that can come out of struggle and a hard time. I think that's when we dig deep.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you and I have talked about just a lot of stuff that I went through, but man, I think that's where, Justinspiretv and Inspire Coffee and all that stuff, I mean, that came from there. That came from this dark place in my mind, in my heart, in my life. And so I can appreciate that. And I think other people should look at maybe the struggles in their life, and it's like, what can we gain from here? What can grow out of this?
How can we help each other?
Yeah. But so that would lead me to my other question is, what pushed you to the food truck game? It's, no restaurant or anything like that. I mean, were you even cooking before then? Because you said you went to a few other restaurants and you just kind of threw some stuff together.
I was always into food, and then it goes from foodie to like, okay, business. So like my line of family, both my mom and my dad's side, they all business people.
Yeah.
So business is in my bloodline. Mm-hmm. Good food as well. So I was traveling to Las Vegas from 2015 to 2018. And I would look for the best food there and the best food here in Houston yearly. And I wanted to get all my information together, do a food blog or a journal, and try to get it published, sell it to somebody, get some credit. Like, hey, I think I know good food. I want people to kind of take my advice on it.
Yeah.
Until it got to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna sell food.
Yeah.
And then that's the basic from that, where it came from, the foodie part. Now when it gets more into the business side, it's like, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that saw this. There's people that they're geniuses, they see it before anybody else does. But I'm like, Houston is about to boom.
Yeah.
Within the next 4 to 6 years, it's about to explode. And a lot of people are moving here.
Especially in our area.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we're in Pasadena. I grew up in Pasadena. You grew up in Pasadena. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that are boom. It's growing everywhere, but especially this area.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like, even, I grew up with good parents, the right things I needed, but they're not going to give me all this money to start a business. All that you still have to learn on your own.
Yeah.
And we weren't taught that all the way, like how to run a business fully and start it on your own. Or maybe we learned how to continue a family business. We never learned how to create something and try to sell it. That's a whole another ball game. I don't care if you have money, if you don't. It's always going to be, you got to get out there and try to
learn on the fly.
How do I make this successful, or at least where I can stay open every day? So it was very scary to open a business. I know I was like, okay, I can't do a brick and mortar, because if I sign a 5-year lease and I don't do good, I'm stuck paying something, and I'm gonna.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I guess the financial expenses part of that.
It gets scary, and what I've learned is, you have to have 100% faith in yourself, and you have to take risks. But at the same time, you have to make, some pretty good moves. It's like playing chess. So it's like, okay, I want to sell food. I want to get in the food game. Houston's about to boom. I want to, because when it booms, I want to be there. I want to have my feet wet. Mm-hmm. And because I know it's
ahead of the curve.
I see it. It's just like seeing something in the stock market. Like, hey, this is gonna same thing. And so I was like, okay, but my losses, I want them to be real low. What can I do? Call my food truck. If I don't do good in one spot, turn the truck on, we move, and we go to another spot, and we'll drive until we make enough to open for the next day. Mm-hmm. I cannot be stuck in one place. Yeah. So that was the business move. That was like, okay, if we don't do good here, we're gonna drive. So I think it was a pretty good risk. But at the time, I worked 6-7 years for a chemical plant. I was DJing, just had my first daughter, and I was doing this at the same time. So it was kind of just up, down,
I remember that's kind of when we were.
It was on cruise control. And I unfortunately ended up getting fired, and I had to give this 100% of my time. It's like, I ain't got no money. I got nothing. What can I do to keep this going? So it's like, man, give it 100% of my time. And it gave back more to me than when I was working all over the place. On top of that, I was in the fire department as well. Yeah. So my time was all over the place. Yeah. But once I focused on it more, it started giving me more.
Well, I mean, it was at that point you're all in. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. And I think that's whenever you're all in, you're going in 100%, you're going to get results that reflect that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but yeah, there was something, I don't remember who said it, but it's like having a plan B, well, that distracts you from plan A, you know?
Arnold
And-
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was kind of, you know, this plan B. It's like now became plan A, and this is all we got, so we're going all in.
Yeah, it's scary though. It is. I've seen many people with good ideas, and I see how far I can go, but they're just too scared to take the risk.
Yeah.
And I think if we fail, we at least can say, hey, we tried.
Yeah.
And I'll go look for work somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the day. It's not.
But you tried.
You tried.
You
You know.
went for it. Why do you think people fail?
People fail.
I mean, in
be-
food truck industry, business,
Okay.
whatever.
I think people get too comfortable and they don't want to move around. People like to get comfort. I've seen it happen to people. I'm not gonna put them out there like that, but I saw why they failed. They'll get comfortable in one spot and they don't want to move around, or they don't want to work on their marketing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new era. This is social media era.
Yeah.
You have to use all the tools. You got to keep up with everything, and you have
And
to.
you do a
use it to
really good job
advantage.
of that.
Like,
I mean,
if
I
you
think
don't do
I think it
that,
helps a lot.
you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
This world moves 24/7, whether you're here or not,
Yep.
and things move fast on the internet.
Yep.
So, I don't think people there's so many free tools and people don't take advantage of it, and I think that's why they fail. Also, because they get too comfortable staying in one spot or trying not to bring in people. I know I'll see a lot of like old stores try to like market or run how they used to in like the 90s, maybe early 2000s, some even from the 80s, and
Yeah.
it's not working. And then unfortunately, I've seen it to where you'll see a store stay open. Nobody's going in there to buy anything. What's happening is the savings or the loan they got to keep
all-
that business up.
All depleting.
It's
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
trying to, because nobody, it's like an ego thing, or it's like nobody wants to fail.
No one or change.
Yeah, and
You know?
so and they lose, man.
Yeah, and that's one thing, and I've had this conversation with a few people, you know, in my circle, but it's if we don't adapt, we fail. And in business, that means you go broke.
Yeah.
If it in a relationship, that means there's no more relationship. Or with your kids, you know what I mean? It applies to everything in life. It's like if you don't adapt, if you don't change, if you don't grow, man, that could very well be the end of your business or whatever it is that, you know, you're pursuing.
Yeah, for sure. And there's some days in business where it's like, I feel like a fucking rock star. I'm gonna go buy a Lamborghini tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're gonna have, man, we could do
Yeah.
the things
Yeah, you're on top of
we've
the
always
world.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
And the next day you don't sell a single thing. It's like, what? It's night and day.
Yeah. I need to remember that. I need to remember that exact statement
Yeah.
just because it's like I know it's
Yeah.
coming, you know. But I mean, and again, in anything, there's always those
Yeah, I
moments.
think
There's
it
the
was,
highs, there's the lows.
Tillman Fertitta, in his book, he had said, don't put your lifestyle ahead of your business or your spending, because then it's just your flat line. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And trust, I think every once in a while, sure, get you something.
Yeah.
When you feel like it's well deserved, everybody's okay.
In moderation.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have it, and if you spend that money, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It is like, we all learn the hard way. I've had my fair share of like spending money that, you know, I probably could have paid off credit card bills or payments of something, but
I feel like I've gone backward.
hell no, I
Yeah.
gotta go give you this.
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, I mean, and I get that, but you know, learning from it's the thing. It's like, go do it, spend it, do whatever it is you got to do. But you know, after you do it, I guess my thing is you know, look around. Was this the right decision?
Yeah.
Because there's a couple times in my life where I've had to take a few steps back, you know, but to take 5 steps forward, you know, that's what you got to do.
Oh yeah,
You know?
for sure. It's like, it's not bad to indulge every once in a while, but when you start to do it 4 or 5 times out of the week, you
Yeah.
know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you got lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
And then we all make that mistake. Hey, you're gonna make mistakes on the way, and believe it or not, you learn from them. If you don't make change, then you're not learning.
Yeah, 100%. And what would you recommend? Because I don't know. I like giving advice. I want to push people. I want to inspire people. I want people to move forward. Kind of like how we said, get comfortable, get out of that comfort zone. What advice would you give somebody who is afraid of taking that jump or starting that new project that they want to start?
Try to get your friends or your family on the same page. That's going to be the hardest one. And let them know. Try to get their support. And because when you're running a business, it's you have more freedom. You're your own boss, but it takes more time. And that's less time. You get to be home. You get to see your kids. You get to, well, I mean, once it's up and running and you're doing good, yeah, you'll get days to spend at home with the family and this and that. But other than that, you're gonna be busy as hell. And you need that support from your family, because I think if you do really good and you don't have the support from your family, that's gonna bother you big time. Because everybody can tell you great things, and then you don't have the support from your friends and family. Yeah, that's gonna fuck you up. Yeah. So you be on the same page, be understanding, and once you got a team, then y'all can go forward. Yeah. Y'all can. It's like psychology. That's the number one thing right there. Yeah. Like, you got a good team, let's go. Yeah, it's kind of like having that support group. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. It's in my terms. But yeah, I think, you got to sell the people around you. They have to believe in your idea. My mom may not drink coffee. She doesn't, but she believes in my idea because she sees that I believe in it. You know what I mean? It is from the heart. This is something that I want to do. And so I have that support group. Maybe not for the product that I have, but they see that I believe in it. And that'll make it go a long way. It's hard to get them to, because you're their baby, yeah, right? And they're like, what are you doing? Yeah. What? It's risk. A lot of people are scared of risk. Yeah. You just happen to be the one brave enough to take off, Yeah. And sometimes there's gonna be people out there where you're going into a different business that is nothing what your parents did or your family did, and they're gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, what are you doing? And that's gonna psych you out. That's gonna be like, damn, and you gotta, in some cases, you gotta prove to them like, hey, look at the numbers, or look at the exposure, look what we're doing, it's working. And then at the same time, it's a journey of your own, but once you can start showing those that, hey, there's a payoff, it's gonna be a little bit easier for them to be like, okay, all right. Yeah. You got my full-blown support. Yeah. Once they see some growth. Yeah, because we all hear things and we're like, you're gonna do what? It's just basic instinct, Yeah. It's understandable. Yeah. And then when you get to show people like, hey, it's working, and then they're gonna be like, oh, hell yeah. And then the more support, the better. I mean, we already said it, but I think a lot of people are scared. Oh. Hell yeah. I mean, they might project some stuff on you, but man, I just think, pushing forward, if you believe in it, you know what I mean? That's really how I feel about it. If you really believe in it, I think that's how you sell people. And, we talked about it off camera. You're doing something for the money, or you're doing something for the likes or whatever it may be. People will see right through that. Yeah. They'll see right through that, and they know it's not genuine. But we want something that's genuine. I want something that's like, whenever I look for food, or I'm thinking barbecue, it's like, man, I want someone back there and they're putting their soul into it. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're like hand rolling stuff or whatever it is they're making. It's always off of passion in the beginning. It turns into a business, and you gotta be businessman. You gotta learn the business. You gotta be a shark, but you can't forget the passion you had in the beginning. Yeah. It is gonna turn into a business, and you're not gonna be making the product forever. Yeah. Because if it turns into a business, then you have to find the expansion. You have to be the growth. Yeah. And you get yourself a good team, show them how you want it to be put out, the product to be put out, and expand the business. And what I've learned from like small business, it's hard. It's hard. There's gonna be days where you want to cry, where things aren't going my way, and and you're gonna sit in your car, you're gonna be driving, you're gonna be hitting your steering wheel, you're gonna have some tears come out, you're gonna realize that the tears are not gonna do nothing. Hitting your steering wheel is gonna do nothing. You have to get your mind right and go find a way to make shit happen.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah,
huge part. And I mean, even hearing you say that, you know, seeing the success
because
you
that's
had,
what I did.
I mean, even the success that you've had, there's still gonna be those days.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
everybody goes through that. It's like, you know, you see all these super successful people, and it's like, man, they had those days. You see them now, you know, balling out, or they got the following and all that stuff. It wasn't always like that. You know what I mean? They were just a dude or a girl just out there grinding. You know what I mean? People forget that. They just see the pretty image, the finished product, but they didn't see the process it took to get to that. So you saying that, I mean, you know, that's real. You know what I mean? It's not all
No, it's
easy and coasting on the way to it.
It gets hard, and there's like you'll get that day where you don't sell one thing. And you're just looking at your employee or whoever's working with you for the day, and y'all give each other a look that you don't have to say a word, that the look describes, like, hey, I don't think we're gonna make it, you know. And you'll get that, man. You're gonna get that, and
yeah, but that'll bring some fight out.
Yeah, you gotta. What you gotta understand, like, I don't like feeling like this.
Yeah.
What do I have to do not to feel like this? You know.
Yep.
Just come on, let's make something happen. And you know, just man, it's that one's a hard one. Unfortunately everybody has to go through their own journey. We try to give advice, and like, hey, this is what happened to me. This is how I felt. This is the good days, the bad days. I know where I'm going, but I still have to go through my journey. The same for those listening, like, hey, you're gonna have to go through your journey. So buckle up. You know, this is just a warning, like, hey, this is what you might experience on your journey. It might not happen. You might just skyrocket and 100%, 1000% success. Yeah, that's possible as well. But you know, it's gonna be a bumpy road, and don't let it bring you down. Don't let it discourage you. Yeah,
it all passes.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about the menu. So let's just say I've never heard of Los Primos. I never had a fajita hot dog. I come to the menu, you know. What are you suggesting? What am I getting? Why?
Whew. All right, it's always gonna depend on the person whether they like spice or not.
I'm a big spicy guy.
Okay, so our best seller on the truck is gonna be our number 3. It's called El Loco. It's the king swine hot dog bun with the beef fajita. Comes with the chile con queso and the salsa verde, and the grilled onions and jalapenos. And if you like hot Cheetos, get the hot Cheetos on it. It gives it a crunch factor. A little bit more spice, not too much, but
I think I'm gonna try it. You know, I've never been one. I see that a lot. I see a lot of people do like hot Cheetos and cheese and all that stuff. I've never been one for that, but I think I'm gonna try it tonight. I'm gonna try it. I
see it as a comfort food. Yeah. Because in those times when I put it, it comforted me. Yeah. Comforted me. Right? Yeah. So I see it as a comfort food. It ain't no 5-star nothing. It ain't, you know, it's good quality, but it's not. There's a lot of foods you'll see and they just make it look good. Yeah. But it don't taste good. Yeah. This one looks good and it's gonna comfort you. You're gonna leave and you're gonna feel, you know, when you eat something and then when you leave, you're like, man, that hit the spot. Yeah. That was good. I will come back for that. Yeah. I'm glad I ate that. I've been to other places where I eat something, I'm like, I don't know why I came here.
Just not satisfied.
You know, there you go. Yeah. Satisfied. Yeah. You know, whenever you're on the fly, all your vocabulary just, you know. But yeah, satisfied. There you go. Yeah.
Travis Scott, you have the Travis Scott burger.
Oh yeah.
So how did that come about? And I think it was pretty clever because now I see McDonald's has something like a deal with him, and I'm like, man, this dude was kind of, you know, ahead of the game with that.
So I've always been a big fan of Travis Scott. Whenever in the early 2010s, I played in like a hardcore band. So I was used to like high energy, crunk, you know, mosh pits and stuff like that, and then, you know, well, he grew up and it didn't work out. Yeah. We didn't go on tour, none of that stuff, and got into DJing, and I was a big Kanye West fan.
Same
and
here.
I saw that he signed Travis Scott, and he had a song come out, and just the energy off his first song, I was like, damn, I like that. It reminds me of like
kind of the same energy.
Yeah, the stuff I'll see at hardcore shows or whatever, just the same energy. And I was like, hell yeah. And then, I didn't even know he was from Houston at that point. I was just such a big fan of Kanye West. I was like, man, well, what this guy puts out, you know, time passes by. And then whenever he had came out with his Astroworld, the business was not doing good. It was very slow. I was still working at the plant, so it's like, man, what am I doing? It's getting some attention, but just because you have attention, some little clout or whatever, doesn't mean you're gonna sell.
Yeah, that's gotta translate to sales.
And so when he came out with the album, it was like stressful times, and that's what I listened to. So, you know, I fuck with him hard. You know, that was my shit. That was there to comfort me or help me through those times. So, big fans. There's an employee on the truck. His name's Jimmy. We call him Jimmy LaFlame, and that's Travis Scott's nickname. And we said, man, we always had in mind we were gonna put burgers on the truck, but like a year and a half, once the truck's up and running, we're like, okay, we're gonna put the burger on here, and we're gonna put fajita on it on top. I said, what are we gonna call it? You know? And then it comes back from like the MySpace days where people was like the Devil Wears Prada, all the
I used to jam some Devil Wears Prada.
All the names for their songs are something random.
Yeah, totally
so
random.
That's kind of my deal too. So I'm like, man, we'll call it after Jimmy, we'll call it the La Flame.
Yeah.
You know, and then now people come, they're like, can I get the La Flame? And no, they know what it is. Like, I'm here for the La Flame. I'm here for the La Flame.
I had the one with fajita. Again, I'm trying something tonight with some hot Cheetos on it.
Yeah,
I know for sure.
Come on. Yeah, but that's how that came about, and everybody on the truck, big Travis Scott fans, and you know, it's just we're fans, you know. That's our shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But okay, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. We're here wrapping it up. Appreciate Marco sitting down with us. I know he's busy and made some time for this. We had a lot of fun, a lot of good information, man. I hope it helps people out there, in their journeys and their projects. So any last things you want to say, man? Just your address, where you're at, tell people come check it out, social handles, all that.
Yeah, for sure. One quick reminder on your product and whatever business it is you're in, make sure it's a good product and you can stand by it. If you have a solid product and you know it's good, you can't fail. Because if the product's good and it speaks for itself, the rest. So you can catch us on Tuesday through Sunday at 3119 Pasadena Boulevard. On Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, we're Los Primos HTX, Houston, Texas. All across the board. Come check us out when you get a chance.
Oh, man. All right, guys. So now we're going to go eat. I'm going to go try that La Flame. And keep creating, guys. Keep creating a life you love. We'll see y'all next time. Bro, you taste the love in there, man. It was good. That was good stuff. It's spicy. It is spicy. I do like spicy. I love jalapenos, though. So like the Hawaiian bread. Can't never go wrong with Hawaiian bread. We have to go back for a second one because I'm not going to be full after this. What's been your experience working here,
man? Honestly, this is probably like the coolest, most best job ever. We're all cool with each other. We're all friends. We all hang out. Our boss is like the coolest guy ever. You know what I mean? So it's pretty dope.
Alright, man. My experience at Los Primos has been nothing but positive ever since I started working here, man. Everything just sounds and is just so much more fun, man. I work here around these people who I consider, man, closer than family now. These are just friends at first. Now they're like family. That's the name Primos. Ooh, I just got it. Ooh, you see what we did there, man? Like it's the camaraderie here, man. It's the vibe. It's the aesthetic, bro. We're just here trying to provide good food, good vibes, good music all the time. You know, that's all we're trying to do.
My experience working here, you know, it's been amazing, bro. I've been on a ride for a couple years now, and it's been a good ride. These are my two main guys right here, and I really mess with them right now. My boss, man, he's an amazing man. He gave me a job when I was young. You know, I was doing
When did you start?
some stuff. I started back in 2018. Back in 2018. May 2008.
How old were you then?
I was 18 years old.
18? Okay,
Yeah, I was 18 years old. Getting food from him, it was pretty dope doing because I didn't know what it was at first. So and like you know, it's just a blessing, you know.
Awesome, man.
He's giving us blessings, man.
How much do you love your job, man?
Enough.
Right?
So keep fired from my other job and just do this under.
For real. And how many people can say that? There's a lot of people I talk to I dread going to work. I feel like you're doing it wrong if that's the case. It's like, I hate coming here and it drains me a minute. I feel like you're doing something wrong. If you're doing something you love, like, that's living to me.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like always different levels of stress and work. So this is better than having to go work for a corporate job or where they'll get rid of you on the flash.
Yeah. Something I believe in. It's like I can get behind that. I'm willing to stress. I'm willing to kill myself for that, as opposed to someone else's dream.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You can't prove a point, but you know you should do.